I've heard it, you've heard it, we've all heard it at this point if you're in the Dandy's World fandom. I didn't want to make this into a long video, but I am going to acknowledge some things because what happened is just straight up too big to ignore. I've seen many YouTubers quit Dandy's World altogether because of the current situation of the game. I've seen many people express how they regret buying merch because of the current issue. I've seen many of my friends on Roblox even unfavorite the game right now because of what's happening. But just hear me out on this. I completely understand how serious the situation is. I do not support a person who essentially enabled a child predator to work on a game literally geared towards that same age group. I know it's very difficult to separate art from the artist, especially if it has their name written all over it, so to speak. But that does not completely change how I will be going forward in this community, as a person, as an artist, as a potential writer, as a 3D modeler. I can't just completely stop every project that I'm doing related to Dandy's World, especially since there's going to be a longer video that'll eventually come out about an AU that I like, fully analyzing a character who's involved. Not to mention all the different animations I have planned, and different concepts I want to create, and characters I want to both figuratively and literally shape into who they are. I've already worked so hard on these, and I often jump from one project to another sometimes. However, if you're in the Dandy's World fandom watching this, anything and everything that you decide to do from here on out is 100% valid as long as you don't stoop to the lows of who created it. As positive as I try to be, it's heartbreaking watching these different communities fall apart, and not to mention that it gives the better people in them a bad reputation solely for just being themselves. That being said, it's okay if you distance yourself from this situation. It's okay if you have second thoughts about staying in this fandom. When it was bad before, I kinda left for a while and I felt a lot better. However, it's my own personal decision to currently stay here and try to make people smile by putting on my costume or making a funny short about gameplay, or maybe even flipping out about achieving a major milestone. For those of you who have any Dandy's World merchandise, whether it be official, bootleg, or homemade, it's still your own decision as to whether or not you want to keep those. However, a lot of merch tends to be pretty expensive, so if you feel like leaving this fandom for a while, or if you really don't feel comfortable having those items, I recommend you just put them in a closet of some kind rather than selling them or just straight up throwing them away, at least until the situation gets better. I know it doesn't seem like it, and it may even seem like forever, but if a situation gets infamous enough, then someone is bound to take action about it. Take Forsaken, for example. Its developers were just as problematic, and now Soul Driven Love is no longer on the team. Albeit it took unreasonably long for them to take any action, but they're still off the team. When a situation of any kind happens, it's often just a matter of time. It might not seem like it, but hopefully we'll look back on this as a rough spot someday. Maybe it won't even be fully resolved, and yes, the fandom and game will always have some dirt on it, but that does not mean that some of it won't wash off. I've been a part of this community for around a year and a half, and I've met a lot of amazing people who enjoyed it just as much as I did at the time. It only took one homemade keychain to spark up a conversation with someone I didn't even know the name of at the time, and now we're still great friends. Since it's currently the summertime and I'm out of school, my goal is to keep people positive about this community, even though there's a lot of disgusting things going on, and most of the time it's not even about the developers. There's gonna be problematic people everywhere you turn on the internet, and as much as I love trying to keep things bright, we need to look out for ourselves, especially for those unfortunate kids who have unrestricted internet access. As someone who has been a victim of grooming in the past, and as someone who's afraid to go to sleep because of recurring themes about it in my nightmares, I want to protect people, especially children, and warn people about the dangers of unrestricted internet access. To the victims of rocks and to anyone who's been a victim of grooming at a young age, you are not alone, and your voice needs to be heard if it has not spoken out yet. I used to be embarrassed about the situation I got myself into because it felt like I had enabled it, but in reality, I just shouldn't have trusted a person who took advantage of children. He used them as a subject for things he did to himself and encouraged others to do that as well. Despite holding those scars, both physically and mentally, it's possible to be aware of those dangers while still looking up at the same time. It's valid to feel icky about those things. I feel icky about it too, but it's only going to drain our mental health if we build our lives around it instead of building out beside it. Thank you for listening to my take on the problem at hand, and thank you for validating my opinions on this case, as in return, I will validate yours as well. Stay safe out there, everyone. I'll see you in the next video.